Hey Bulldogs, Chris Bryant here. Got a new feature starting here for you today. It's a CCNA and CCENT in this case. Video pop quiz. I'm going to show you one practice exam question in just a moment. And even if you know the answer, and I'll be glad that you knew it, but you'll definitely want to stick around for the lab work because we're going to be on the racks for a couple of minutes. I'm going to illustrate the answer to the question and give you some bonus info not covered in that. So make sure to stick around for that, even if you know the answer. I also want to thank you first off for making our 7th anniversary at TBA possible. We would not be here without you. And I definitely want to remind you about our CCNA video bootcamp. You can download the lessons immediately after purchase. There's an online forum where I keep in touch with my students, and of course you can catch me on Facebook and Twitter as well. And there's also an hour of samples out there for you. I don't just do the 2 or 3 minute sample thing. There's an hour of great OSPF material there as well. Also wanted to show you that we're also out on Udemy.com. And we're the #2 trending paid course there, and I thank you for that because, again, we would not be here without you. Let's go ahead and head to that question. And, of course, it can be one of the dreaded, pick all that apply. So even though I had one highlighted there, that might not be the only right answer or the right answer. Actually, it's just because I forgot to move the key. So let's go ahead and hit this question. Which of the following is true of the escape sequences for ping and trace route? Are they different? Are they the same? Do you just have to enter it once, or do you have to enter it more than once? And while I can practically guarantee this is going to come up in some way on your exams, I can also guarantee it that you're going to be really glad you knew this one day, whether in a lab environment or in the real world. Let's hit the lab equipment and see exactly what I'm talking about. Because way back when, in the age of the dinosaurs, when I started studying this stuff, ping 172.12.12.12, let's say that you ping the wrong IP address. Well, we know that by default, ping gives us 5 ICMP echo packets. They're 2 seconds apart, so without getting a calculator out, I can tell you that's 10 seconds. So what's the big deal? Why do I have to worry about terminating that? And notice that the router tells us type escape sequence to abort, but doesn't tell us what the escape sequence is. One day it will, but it doesn't right now. So why do I care? What's 10 seconds in the big scheme of things, right? Well, I understand that, but let me show you a little something we call an extended ping. Now I'm going to send it to the same address, and please note, extended pings can only be sent from privileged exec mode. You can't send them from user exec. So I accepted IP as the default. You have to enter an IP address. And let's say that I'm doing some lab work and I want to simulate a stream of data to that address. And I put in 10,000 pings. And I just accept the rest of the defaults, no problem there. And then I realize, oh, I meant 172.12.12.122. Well, now I got to sit here and wait for 10,000 packets to time out. And I really don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is a little double keystroke. You got to do this twice, but it is Control-Shift-6. You just do one right after the other. It doesn't have to be in a screaming hurry. Don't break your knuckles or anything like that trying to do it quickly. But after a little bit of practice, you'll do it without even thinking about it. But again, that is Control-Shift-6 twice. So that will also kill a trace route. So they are the same, and you do have to enter the keystroke more than once. Let me give you a little bonus material here on top of the already bonus material. Let's do a trace route. And let's say that I trace route to that address, and I accept all the defaults. Well, what's going to happen here, since this address, there's nothing in it in my routing table, I'm going to get asterisks here. And you know how many rows of those I'm going to get? Have you seen one of these before? Have you agonized through one of these before? There are 30 rows. And even though it says type escape sequence to abort, if you don't know what that escape sequence is, you can't abort it. You're going to have to wait for this to go all the way to row 30 and then quit. So again, Control-Shift-6, Control-Shift-6. That's exactly what it will look like right there. So a good exam tip and a good real-world tip for you as well. Like I said, come on out and join us on Twitter, on YouTube, on the blog, and on Facebook as well. We're having some great conversations, especially out on Twitter. And whether you're working on the NA or the CCENT, look for these free CCNA Success ebooks on Amazon and some other sources coming out in May. I'm Chris Bryant. Thanks for making TBA part of your Cisco certification success story.